there, good evening and welcome to Sparkle of Light Spiritual Chat Show. And tonight's guest we have the lovely Judith Miller with us. Hi Judith, hi there.
Hiya.
And it's great to have you on the show this evening. Now Judith, I know you're a spiritual medium and psychic, and I know you're also a coach too, but there's a whole load of stuff that you do. So let me just introduce you first by saying welcome on to the first episode of tonight's show, and as you know as well, this will be going to a podcast too, so it's great to have you. And for those who don't know me, I'm Alice Trevorrow from Sparkle Light Spiritual Centre. I'm also a spiritual medium and psychic, so over to you, Judith. Tell us who you are, what makes you sparkle, what you're all about, okay?
Thank you. Firstly, can I say thank you, what an honour it is to be your first guest. I'm truly, truly honoured, and I wish you many successes and many series to come.
Thank you.
Personally, I work kind of in a unique way with spirits, in the sense that I work in how they teach me. I do lots of different things, but only when they guide me to do so. I don't try and do everything all at once, because that would just be, as you know, we could never do that. But spiritually, my journey with spirit, I could see spirit as a child, and probably, to be honest, it scared me as a child. It unnerved me. I didn't understand it, and because nobody around me understood it, there was no outlet to try and get that help. So if anything, it made me more push it back. I would have called them the shadow people. I'm understanding now who my shadow people were, but as I got older, I always had that knowing. I always knew, and I couldn't explain it, but I always knew. I knew when something was going to happen. I knew maybe what was going to happen. So as I got older, I had children. They were very spiritual, and I knew that I had to break that cycle, and I had to change and do something. And so I was very open about my experiences and my connection with spirit. But it really took off then more than anything, because that's when I really started to build that bond. And because where I am, I live in quite a rural place, but also I didn't know lots of different people. So Spirit took me under their wing, and to be fair, they very much raised me through my whole spiritual journey. I know I do physical. I have asked them why do I do the physical in the way that I do it, and they take me back to 1800s, 1900s, and they want people to show that there's a lot of physical mediums there who are really good, but history kind of comes back into play a lot of time. So the way they ask me or show me, we work like 2 in 1, like a tag team, is so the person is experiencing that themselves, in front of themselves. It's not me saying this is happening. It's not me. It's the person, it's the inquirer, them personally, that experience and feel everything themselves. So there's no misleading. Yeah.
I suppose though, like anything, when you start out in your journey, it becomes what's going on, where am I going with this, but I'm sure you do come to the resolution of, I'm where I'm meant to be at that time, and I will grow when I'm meant to grow with it. You can't push yourself too much with it. Don't you agree? Yeah.
I do agree, and to be honest, I've had some words with my spirit team. They're very good now. I know they will ask me to do something, or they will explain, to do, but they don't show me how to do it. They very much let me find my way. And I know sometimes I've been trying to do things, and I'm like, why, so now I'm sorry, I just don't know how to do this, but
Yeah.
I find a way, and I know that if they ask me to do it, then I know to trust them, because sooner or later I'll find a way to do it.
Yeah. Now what about, is it trance that you do, or physical?
No, well, it is a form of physical.
Yeah.
I suppose it is a form of, I'm not sure, it's not, I don't go into trance, I do it like I speak to you right now.
Okay.
So I channel my energy with Spirit's loved one who comes forward, and we work as I say, they always tell me 2 in 1.
Yeah.
So it's like, as I'm talking to you now, but I help share. So I share my energy, and they will ask. I don't choose. I'm guided by Spirit always. So if Spirit said to me about a pen, they want to move a pen, then they have chosen that. They might ask me, I've had people will say I don't have a pen, and I'll go, well, what have you got? And then I'll ask Spirit, is that okay? So there's maybe been like a candle or a deodorant tin or a TV remote, so they will physically move it off the loved one's hand themselves. Or photograph, they will physically move the photograph off the loved one's hand. It doesn't matter if they're in the UK, if they're in front of me, or if they're in America, or there's no distance, has no relevance to it. So they very much, let them guide me as to what they want to move.
Yeah. It sounds interesting. Yeah, I'd love to see you work that way. I haven't seen you work properly yet. I have seen you do demonstrations, and I know you do TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you do TikTok as well, and I know you do demonstrations. And I'd imagine. What's it like in Ireland though? Because I know you're from Ireland. So what's it like in Ireland? Do they accept this or?
Well, you see, to be honest, I didn't tell even my immediate family for a long time, because I was brought up through a church background. So my mum was through the church, and I didn't feel that everybody would understand. I work really strongly with the angels. I'm really passionate about our angels, and so where I am, there is mediums, and they're here and they're scattered in different places. There's 2 spiritual churches here in Northern Ireland, or in Ireland, but we're very limited here. So a lot of what I do would be online. I would be around the world online. So, but it's very much, it is accepted, and a lot of people, it's very much, I find more and more people are being drawn to their journey around the world, not just here, around the world. Yeah.
Well, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news right now. Okay, the good news is we're doing this and we're recording this show, and it's going to go to the podcast. Bad news is it's not went live. Okay, it's not went live on Facebook, but I'm really hoping it has went live on YouTube. Okay, so I'm hoping it has went live on YouTube. But regardless of that, we're together. We're with Spirit World.
Absolutely.
and the reason I wanted to do a podcast was actually to share out to the world about lots of things that happen within spiritualism, and also the belief that we have, the belief that we have as well, that there is no death. There is no death.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people do feel that there is, and that's the end, and that's up to them to believe that, and nobody's dictating that to them, because it's a personal choice at the end of the day. But isn't it good though, just to kind of expand a little bit of what we know or what we believe, and just leave it for food for thought, and if people believe it, fair enough, and if they don't, that's fine as well. I
think what I find personally, as I go along my journey, the reconnecting, in one sense, we as you say, we have to allow everybody their own choice and their own, what they feel is right for them. It's beautiful when they receive a message and a connection that is personal to them, but also to actually physically feel their loved one. It helps hopefully strengthen that, to show that there is, life does go on, and it's just this physical that's changed. Hopefully that helps. You know, it helps strengthen people's.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've got someone that's just left a message there, Judith.
I answered. I hope that was okay.
We've got someone that has, so maybe it's going somewhere. Just take this time. Yeah.
I think this is Canada reaching out to you right now. So it's good.
Is it? Really?
Yes. If this Patricia, I know she's in Canada. She's reaching out.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Welcome.
That's lovely. Yeah, great.
That's it. Around the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, what's happening now with you, Judith? Because the last time I spoke to you was on Spiritual Talk TV, and I know you were very busy then. So,
yes.
What's happening with you just now? What's coming up for you?
Coming up is I'm excited because, as you know, Spirit likes to push us out of our comfort zone.
Yeah, the hammer, yeah.
Every time.
I've been testing on this.
That's it, very much so. So at the moment, I have venues coming up in and around where in Northern Ireland. So lovely. We've been out to do some venues face to face. I'm looking forward to that. I'm still doing the coaching because I believe we should always share our knowledge and keep that side of things going, well as learning.
Yeah. And
I also I like to study myself. I believe that we can never have too much. So I recently did my grief and bereavement counselling, and I feel it's something with what we do. We should understand all sides of it. So I'm hoping that helps me go forward.
It does make a difference. I did grief and bereavement counselling when I was doing part of my degree as well, an extension to the degree that I did, and the grieving, because I was a registered nurse for a while, but then it stopped, and I felt, because I really wanted to work in palliative care for a long while. It never worked that way, but I'm doing a job now that I love, but I do feel with the job that we do, yes, of course you have to understand the grief aspect of it, and the processes of change that take place, so I do agree with you. It's very much part of what we do.
It is. I know we find a lot of people who I personally, and I'm sure you find the same, especially with being a nurse, people who have got long-term illness or terminal illness, they do very much turn to their spiritual side, and a lot of the time they do find that very rewarding, but there's different processes to it, and I think to do the right thing we should understand all of it. I found it very rewarding. I did find it very rewarding. And again, but I like to study. I like studying, and my guys vote enough. You don't need this. You don't need certificates. But I follow them. I very much follow them. So I do. Yeah. There's so much spirit around you right now, Alice.
Oh, fantastic!
There's so much spirit around you.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. You've got a party going on there.
Well, please share. Don't feel shy.
I do have to tell you, there is a gentleman around you, and is that who I was picking up with the throat?
Yes.
Because he's making my throat go again. So I very much know he's around you.
Yeah.
So he is.
Yeah.
He is so excited for you. He's very excited for you. He says your stomach has been going like this all day. It's been like a washing machine all day.
Yeah.
Alice, would you? I don't know if I know we're showing about spirit and we're talking about spirit, but if he wanted to do something physical, would you be happy?
Oh yeah. He knows that. Yeah, I'm more than happy. Nothing scares me. Not when it comes to the love of spirit world. Yeah.
Would you like to do something physical?
Oh yeah.
Or would you prefer to chat? Because I don't want to. I don't know.
Oh no! Listen, this is, you're invited onto the show, so this is your hour to do whatever you want to do, to actually share the light of spirit world to everybody.
Okay. Have you got a pen?
I have.
Can you put? Because he's saying to me, pen. See if you put the pen in your hand.
Yeah.
I would support your hands with the other, because sometimes they can be very strict. They don't know their own strength sometimes.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to move the pen for you. Is that okay? And I'll help Chan.
Okay. And I'll let everybody know what's happening.
Do you understand he's talking about a holiday?
That's correct. That's so true.
And you very much need that holiday, he says. Yes. It's the only time he says she'll switch off. It's the only time she'll switch off, he says.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be getting my cases packed soon.
Yeah, he's talking about cocktails.
That would be nice.
Somebody likes cocktails.
I do. Yeah, I've not had one for a long while though.
Oh, I think you're going to have a few. Enjoy them. I think you deserve them. Enjoy them. Are you feeling heat around your hand?
There is some heat coming around my hand, Judith. Yes, there is. Yeah. There may be some pauses through the podcast, but just stay with us. There's a demonstration going on just now with Judith Millar, a spiritual medium and psychic.
Are you finding pressure building?
I just feel heat. Feeling some heat.
Okay, so he's talking about vibrate, so I feel he's trying to vibrate the pen.
Nothing yet.
Okay. I think he's talking about moving. So he must be trying to... Can you feel it building, Alice?
I can feel the heat building.
Yeah.
I feel heat building up. Yeah.
He's talking about a car. There's work or something's just been done or needs done to something to do with a car. He's talking about a garage.
Oh, well, we have a garage.
Do you mean the garage as in like a repair garage, or do you mean a garage as in a family garage? A repair garage?
A repair garage, okay. I don't know anything about that yet.
It's to come.
Okay, great.
Sorry, yeah. Go ahead, please. He is so super proud of you, so super proud of you. You've very much you've pushed yourself to places you didn't think you would. Do you know what he means?
Absolutely. Yeah.
He's always knew you would and knew you could. He's always had that faith, that confidence in you.
Yeah.
He is a big supporter of you. He is a very big supporter of you. Yeah. I feel this is a father figure.
Yeah, it's my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not surprised he's here.
He says he wouldn't miss it. He wouldn't have missed it. No. He wouldn't have missed it for the world.
Yeah.
He's going to be with you in everyone. Everyone, he says. Everyone.
Yeah.
I understand what you mean. I got a horse. You got a horse. He's talking about a sore throat. Somebody, I feel somebody might have had a sore throat, or
He did.
okay.
Well, he didn't have a
He's
sore
talking-
throat, but he had problems going on with his throat.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like when I'm swallowing,
Yes, it was.
it's quite hard to swallow, and
It was hard to swallow. Yeah. He had a lot of problems with his throat and swallowing.
there's a lady in spirit with him.
Yeah. Mhm.
I know. She says to keep the pen on you, because the pen.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay. There's a lot of so there's a lot of spirit coming in around you, Alice. So much. There's excitement. They're so excited. For your chapters and your adventures going forward, they're so excited. I have to say to you, they're telling me it's going to take off bigger than you could imagine.
Right.
Bigger than you can imagine.
Okay.
And you so deserve that. You so deserve that. Okay. Can we move, Dad? Can we move the pen? Okay, you can. Okay, so he's talking about bending your fingers. Okay, so I feel he's going to push on your finger. He's just said
Alright.
yes. So I feel you will feel pressure on your fingers.
Yeah.
He's just said yes as I said that.
Okay.
He's talking about flowers. You like flowers? They brighten the place up.
Yeah. I like flowers. Yeah. I've not got any just now though. Hint, hint, if anybody's listening.
Alice needs flowers. He had a bit of a sense of humour, Dad.
Oh, yeah.
Because he started singing me the song Miley Cyrus, I can buy myself flowers. They usually get me to sing, and I'm like, please don't make me sing, because I can't sing. I'm sound great with the headphones in, but I really can't sing. Come, Dad. Have you a mother figure in spirit, please?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
I do.
Mum has come forward too. She is just beaming from cheek to cheek. She is just smiling and smiling and smiling. She's not speaking. She's just smiling and smiling. I feel like I've got this butterflies in my heart, like this real excitement feeling. With both.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we do the pen? I will help. Okay. Do you understand they're talking about an anniversary?
I'm trying to.
Celebration. They're talking celebration, anniversary.
Oh, there's a celebration coming up. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a celebration coming up. And there's a birthday. Anniversary's just passed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're acknowledging both. They're acknowledging both.
But
okay.
yeah.
Okay, well let's do the pen. Let Alice do the pen for Alice.
There's a few pauses going on.
Sorry,
I'm just telling the podcast people, because when it goes podcasting, I don't want them thinking there's silence. So, yeah, we've got a little experiment going on for everybody that's listening. Okay, and the pen has actually just moved.
it's just moved.
It's moved to, it's actually just rolled. It's rolled over to the side. Don't know if you can see.
No, I can't. No.
Yeah, okay. It's rolled to the side. But I'm actually feeling it more in my two fingers. There's a tremor. Yeah.
Is it like a pressure?
Yeah. And a little bit of a tremor on it as well. Yeah, I can feel a little bit there.
I feel he's trying to push your hand down to make the pen fall off.
Yeah, that's what I felt happened. There's two fingers there. I just felt started to move a little bit, kind of shakily. And then the pen kind of just slightly just rolled.
Brilliant.
But the heat in that hand though.
Yeah.
Compared to my other hand. you know.
Sometimes it gets very strong. Their energy, they don't realise how, and so I would usually say like support yourself. But I'm going to leave you, Alice, with their love, because this was as much their celebration with you as it is. It's a big achievement. They're here to support you and give you that love, and it was nice that they could show you they're there. I could see Spirit, your screen was going crazy, and I knew. But it's just this overwhelming love. They're so happy, they're so excited, they're super proud.
Oh, I'm so glad that they both came through, but I'm not surprised my dad coming through first, because he wouldn't want to miss anything.
Oh, he's not. When you watch this back, you'll see so much spirit around you. It's really strong, really strong.
I can feel it. I can feel it.
Yeah.
I felt it as soon as I sat down. So yeah.
I don't think they wanted to miss the action.
No, that is so lovely. That is really nice. Well, thank you so much, Judith. Thank you. Now, I know we've got Patricia. We've only got Patricia on, but I don't know if Patricia would want maybe a wee reading or not. If you can actually, you can hear the Scottishness in my language, can't you? A wee reading.
We say that here. Would you like a wee cup of tea? Would you like a wee cup of tea? Or anything, like we always have a habit of saying "we" before it. Would you like a wee drink? I have family in Scotland, so I have. I have family over in Scotland.
Oh, lovely. Have you been to Scotland, Judith?
Yes, many times. Up in Aberdeen, Kilmarnock, Glasgow, Ayrshire,
lovely.
East Kilbride, quite a few places.
Oh, lovely. Well,
very friendly.
I'm just at the cusp of Loch Lomond, so here's Gerda. Gerda's just come on, and she said, "Is it all right if I could have a reading, please?" Of course you can, Gerda. And if anybody's got any questions, just post it on if you can in the comment. If you want to come on to the show, you can come on to the show as well. Okay, feel free. Tonight it's open night.
So how do they come on to the show, Alice?
Well,
is it just with their comments, or? Yeah, well,
if they want to come on to the show, they have to. There's a few other people coming on as well. I'd love a reading. If they want to come on to the show, the full information's on the introduction page, but they can actually just press. There's a button there that they can actually. It's like a ring, like a telephone, where they can call.
And that's it, yes.
Yeah, and I can just accept them on, and then it's just like hanging back up again when they leave.
Yeah. That would be great if they called in for you and hit that red button. So good,
I know. I've been looking at
Gerda, Patricia,
ring.
That's it. Gerda, Patricia, would you like to ring in, and we can give that reading and give that connection and
if not, we can always do it through the comment. But it would be good to just hear that little phone there ringing.
That's it. Get it all going and try and give it all first go and get that. Yeah, it would be great. Maybe somebody will. We've got time. We've got time.
Yeah. So, and it's all just trial and error, isn't it? Everybody just finding how to work it as well, including me. So I'm doing my best. But I just know that red phone there is definitely you can. So then you've got a couple. You've got Patricia. And you've got Gerda as well.
I know Gerda. I know both, and so I do.
Okay.
They're both. So thank you for joining. It's really, really nice. So, go ahead and give Gerda a reading.
Of course.
Would you like to do it? Or am I doing it?
You can do it. Now, what I can do is I can maybe use some cards as well. While you're doing that. Let's work together, Judith. Let's work together.
Okay, so we'll link in with Gerda first.
Okay.
Okay, that was very quick. Okay, so I'm getting a lady, but I want to say like a mother figure has just come forward. That keeps. Please, can I make sure all connections for Alice is cut and just make sure this is 100% for Gerda. It is okay. Somebody's just come straight away and came forward and said, "Mum," like they didn't always get mummy or it was like mum. Okay. and it is for Gerda. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, please. What can you like to pass to Gerda for me?
So if you can't get on, if you don't know how to join on the phone, then just place a little comment underneath, and then Judith can get to know if she's on the right direction with you.
Yeah, that would be great. She's talking about, Gerda, there's directions to be, there's decisions to be made regarding directions. She's okay, so she's saying him and in hand, so I feel like you're not sure. Okay, she said no, she's not. She's just come straight back and said no, she's not. You're indecisive. She's talking about indecisive about something. Okay, you're overthinking the gut. She's saying you have gut instinct, you have good intuition, but you're overthinking it. She's talking about a direction. There's going to be a change in the direction, Gerda. Okay. Trish or anybody else, if you want to ring in, it would be great, so you could hear your reactions. It would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Support Alice.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please. Okay. She's talking about. Okay. She's talking about like a fairy ring to me, like a fairy ring. So there's a lightness coming through, and she's showing. She can't ring in. Okay.
She can't ring.
She's showing
That's
me.
Okay.
Okay. So she wants. What she's explaining. Okay, I understand what you're explaining. So she's showing me, talking about a fairy ring, and she's showing me talking about the fairies and the lightness, and she feels that life's been very heavy for you lately, very heavy. You're forgetting to have that fun, to step back, and you're to shut the door on it for a day or two. Have that lightness, have that fun, come back and then think about it. Okay, it's overwhelming. The more you try to consider it now, the harder it's making it for you. Okay. Did somebody knit? I feel like I want to knit now with knitting needles. Crochet. Okay, so somebody was quite true. Yeah. Okay, somebody was very good with creative with wool and the made thing. I want to go like this. It's like a scarf or something. Am I running hands down past the scarf? And she's talking about red. Please can I ask what you mean about it? Okay. I always say don't shoot the messenger, but she's talking about procrastination at the minute. Something we're all very good at. Okay. Have you felt very on ground? I like crochet hats. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And she's talking about. I feel you're very good with nature, Gerda, but I feel at the moment you're not as you would usually be. She's bringing you back to earth, back to grounding, back to feeling centered and grounded and connecting with nature. You very much find yourself, which is a great way to be. It's a great way to align ourselves. But she's okay. Gerda, can you put a pen in your hand, and she's going to move it as I talk to you. Okay, but I want to say to you, she's still talking about love. Do you understand? I know we don't have to understand the message, we only have to pass it. And
she's got yes.
Okay, she's talking about Christmas, and she's talking about wings. Okay, so she's talking about Christmas. The words she's telling me is Christmas and wings. Did somebody gain their wings around Christmas time, or is it to... I don't want to add to that, because she's not adding to that, so I don't want to change that message. I just want to pass it as she's telling me it, and she's talking about Christmas and wings. So she's saying special. Okay, special. Okay, she's talking about warm, so okay. Gerda, if you relax that hand, she's going to close your hand. So I think if she's put something in your hand, she's going to close it over. Okay, she's going to close over that hand. Okay. Life's very much like a jigsaw at the minute, she's saying, you know, bits and pieces. I feel she's explaining to finish one thing, you're feeling quite scattered, so I think she's trying to explain when to finish one thing. Build that jigsaw one piece at a time, not at all. Okay, you're doing quite a lot. You're trying to do different things. She's saying focus on the one. Okay, focus on the one. She's talking about daffodils. She's showing me a daffodil. Okay, she's talking about confidence also. She's talking about your solar plexus. Okay, yes. And I feel that you're going to understand, you will understand that when you balance and when you're back out into nature the way maybe you would normally be. I don't feel you are at the moment, or you haven't been. I want to say to you, get out of that house. Get out into nature. Okay, she's telling me, talking to me about your hand. Okay, so your hand, she's showing me your hand. Okay, she's talking about the pressure. Okay, pressure. Okay, what did you just show me, please? Can you show me that again? You just showed me. Okay, do you understand, Gerda? She's talking about there's something has arisen that maybe you thought you had put to bed, that there's something has arisen again, and it's a form of self-healing. Very much you time to take a step back. I feel this is mother. She's saying mum, mother. I feel this is a mother figure. Mum, I have to keep repeating what she tells me. And the colour blue is very relevant to you, so maybe you're not speaking up. She's going knock knock. So I'm doing exactly as she's telling me. She's going knock knock. Okay. I feel I have to bring in the life, the fun, the fun and the adventure. She's joking that she's knock knock, and she's just gave me the number 26. 26. It's very relevant to you. She's telling me it's very relevant.
Yeah.
Hand pressure. I will hold the link.
Okay.
Yes. Okay,
Just
I'm going to hold the link.
Yeah. Give a little bit of feedback as well to what Judith is saying would be good as well, Gerda. Please, thank you. I've also got the card here, the Rest and Rejuvenate card. So I've got this card here as well. And psychically, I do feel at the moment that things have been pulling you down. And you are actually needing to really pick your feet up, rest, and stop worrying about what's going on around other people, because you seem to be worrying about endless worry about other people, but not actually looking after yourself. I also feel as well now, coming away from the psychic sense of it now, I feel Father stepping forward to you, Gerda, and I feel this man was quite a strong man, and he was quite an influence into your life as well. And as he comes forward, I just feel with him that he was a straight talker. He was a straight talker, you know, so he, you know, you knew where you were with him. And I feel as he's coming in, he's like really kind of giving you a little row here. Will you look after yourself, you know, because he's just making me feel you're running about ragged here, and he's a bit concerned about you. He's also giving me the number 4 as well, so I don't know if you can understand the 4th of actually, do you know what, I feel as 4th of May would be quite relevant, the 4th of May for a birthday anniversary or a passing, but I'm definitely getting the 4th of May in and around that. And I know the name Joseph would be relevant, or Joe, but I know that name's quite relevant as well. Okay, but he's coming forward and he's sending you so much love right now, Gerda. Okay, and
you got some yeses there, she mentioned.
Yeah, I've got some yeses there, and I just know that he's coming forward to give you some love, but also to give you some support as well. Do you understand why he's talking about the hens in the garden? Something to do with hens in a garden. Which is a bit unusual.
Does that make sense if I say like penned in?
Yeah.
I'm feeling a bit penned in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's right, absolutely. Because that's the way he brought that in, and that opens it up. So absolutely, yeah. He's very much. He's just said don't put salt into the wound, okay. And he's talking about emotionally with you. Okay, Gerda. And he's just said, don't put salt into the wound with that. And
cuddle some chicks.
I cuddled some chicks. Okay, that's fine. That's absolutely fine, because he brings that in as well. Okay, very much around you. Please remember, he did say don't put salt into the wound. So there, I feel it's more metaphorical than anything else, but he is saying that. And he's also just gave me the month of December for an anniversary. I know about the salt, she says. Okay.
She knows about the salt.
Okay, that's fine. He's here for you, sweetheart. He's here. Okay, and he is supporting you. You're not on your own, so you can get that out of your head. Okay, all right. He's right there with you. In fact, you sometimes feel as if you feel sometimes a little pressure on your shoulder, as if he's got his hand on your shoulder at times, or as if somebody's patting your shoulder, because he's just giving me this. I can just see him doing this on you just now. So take his love and his support. Okay, and thank you, darling. Thanks very much.
Can I just say before we let the gentleman, and they're saying to me chest. They keep repeating the word chest to me, so I have to pass that. You're welcome. Very much chest. Look after.
Yeah. But well, we've done a couple of readings tonight. It is a podcast that will be going out as well, so it'll be going out live, and we will also be extending. Things will be growing with the podcast. Things will be growing with everything that we're doing. But what I would like to kind of chat to you a little about, Judith, is what is your thoughts on the actual mechanics of mediumship? Do you feel that there should be a set routine of structure, what we're meant to do, or do you feel that we should actually just do and blend in the spirit world and just open it up the way that they wish us to open it up for them?
Well, it's funny you should ask that, because the Spirit were talking to me about this whilst I was getting ready to come on to the show. They kind of were reminding me of my experiences. And I thought, that's strange, you should remind me about, are you wanting me to talk about this tonight? Because I know when I do any classes, Spirit lead the classes as to everything that happens in the classes. But I very personally, when I started pushing myself more and more and following Spirit's guidance, I found it hard. Why I found it hard was because I did things very differently. And I felt I was having to try and fit in to be accepted and to adapt, and I was finding it very hard, and it was confusing for me. And then in the end, Spirit said to me, why are you trying to do that? And I was like, because this is the way it works, there seems to be an order, and they were saying to me, that's man-made. That's man-made, that's the same as the time, it's the same as everything. So I learned to not try and fit in anymore. I always understood that wherever I would be is where Spirit was guiding me to be, and who I would cross paths with, I would cross paths with. So I have to be honest, I truly surrendered and said to them, teach me, show me, guide me, because I no longer feel I have to fit in. Spirit very much they are pushing the boundaries to more modern style, because they talk about how much we limit ourselves. And we very much limit ourselves, be quite rigid in our how we let ourselves work. So I very much I learned to step aside and say, okay, I don't know how I'm going to get from A to D, but I trust you to take me there, and And they do. As you know, we will fall many times and we will get up many times. But I believe it should be quite open.
So do I.
That's how Spirit has been teaching me.
Me too, Judith, me too. Absolutely. And I'm totally with you on this. Totally with you on it, because you said something there that you're actually told by many tutors, surrender and trust. Surrender to spirit world and trust.
Yeah.
So if you're surrendering to spirit world and you're trusting, and then you start opening up what you're getting from spirit world, and then you're told, no, you can't say that.
Yes.
Well, where's the surrender and trust?
Yeah.
Do you know?
I remember, I as you know, we don't remember messages unless it's something, it's a lesson. And I can remember, and I don't know why I remember, obviously there's a reason, but I remember doing a reading, and it was for a young man, and he didn't believe in anything. It was very much his first time, he didn't believe in anything, and I was nearly giving him what he'd had all day to eat, and at one stage I was like, I'm really sorry, but you know, but he you know, I can't remember what it was, but it should have been scrambled eggs and toast. And he'd just had a cup of tea and a Mars bar literally before he came on air, and he'd just you know, had a pot noodle for his supper, you know, something like, and he was like, it was, you know, to him that was all he needed, because it wasn't all, you know, but
no, I know what you mean though. It's the evidence, wasn't it?
It is, and it's about remembering, should it be 2 words, don't add to those 2 words. Yeah. Because then that's us changing that message, and as you say, we try to surrender so many times, and we go, okay, we'll surrender, but truly we're still trying to control that journey, and we're only holding ourselves back. So the less we do, the further we go. is how I learned it. Yeah,
I love it. I love it. It's great to hear someone else in the same, you know, and I'm sure there's many people that think the way we do as well, you know, and I do feel obviously there is some things that, you know, obviously your code of ethics, obviously it's like anything, you know,
absolutely,
you know, you've got to take personal responsibility onto
you
that.
Do.
But you know, if you're surrendering to spirit world, they're going to give it to you in a way that the other person is going to understand, you know.
Absolutely.
So, you know, so if I brought through, say for instance, I brought through my mother, and I said, oh, my mother, you know, you're, you know, say somebody brought, start again, Alice. Somebody brought through to me my mother and said, well, you know, she was a great knitter, and and oh, she was a chatterbox and spoke all the time, and she was such a lovely lady, and I can't find any fault in her at all. She was so sweet. Then I would say, no, you've not got my mum. No, you're not got my mum.
Yeah,
you know,
but
because
it's true.
Character. Yeah,
exactly. Like when I do TikTok, I do lives on TikTok, and if my spirit team told me to do TikTok, and everybody said to me, no, you've got that wrong, you've really got that wrong, and I was like, no, I have to, and I did procrastinate on it until it was like TikTok banners everywhere, till I was like, okay, I surrendered, I did it. And we were having to do like small videos before you could do lives, and I really struggled with that because I couldn't be me, and Spirit very much taught me that when I do my lives, you will have the ones come through, and they always told me to be myself. And I'm a giggler, I'm very much a giggler, and they always said to me, always be yourself. That's right. I've seen me doing readings where I can remember there was 2 brothers had come forward, and they must have been jokers on the earthly plane. Well, the tears were running down my face. I was laughing, and but it was their personality, and it just that whole character, their personality, and everything who they were. That's what really people are just. It means so much, doesn't it? Yeah. You know, it's to show that character. You know, so you could be crying 1 minute and the tears running down your face 1 minute, and the next minute you're laughing, or. But they make me sing a lot.
Oh, they do that with me as well, and I can't sing.
They make. But Spirit has, I know my guys, everybody, I'm sure you do too, they have a great sense of humour.
Yeah.
And they very much want us to enjoy what we do, and I learnt, like you were explaining, I felt quite rigid in what I shouldn't be doing it this way because nobody else seems to be doing it this way, and then my guy said to me, Judith, you've never done anything, you've always, everything you used to do, you've done it different, your own way, you always seem to do it and I understood then the Spirit was always guiding me just to be me, and where I'm meant to be and connect with Will. And I think the less rigid, the more open, the more understanding people have, and it's less daunting.
That's right, absolutely.
My readings are always fun.
Patricia's put that on. Your readings are always fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
But it should be. We should be ourselves, really.
Yeah, and also, Spirit World don't want it doom and gloom. They want us to be happy, and they want us to, live our life, and they want to bring that. They want to bring their character through, and they want you to have a memory of, oh gosh, I remember that. That was funny. That was so funny.
Yes.
And then you're transported back to that memory, that time, that laughter, and them, and that's what they want you to remember. They don't want you to remember the sad time of what happened at the end or how they passed, because that's not what they want. Gerda said thank you for the reading, sending lots of hugs. Thank you, Gerda.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But isn't it, it's to see the value that it's brought to that person. It has to be. I know, I've delivered feathers, and I still get excited, and I would do the feed off my live TikTok, and then I do video duets, and then I kind of move it around to give everybody the same chance and share. But I'd done it off the feed, and the first time I did it and got it on camera, I was like a child. I was like, oh my word, we've got it on camera, and it's we've got the video in it, and I was like, you still sometimes feel that you have to prove yourself, but really it's not Spirit, it's ourselves that's making that like that. We can make it harder for ourselves sometimes, because we still sometimes think, we still have to prove, and really so we're always learning, aren't we?
Yeah, we can make it very hard once the mind comes into play, as we can make it difficult for ourselves. But I think the more that we do this, the more we learn. As they're always going to be there. They're not going to let us down. They're never going to let us down. It's ourselves that if anything goes wrong in it, it's ourselves.
It is.
We've come out with that power with them, or we've maybe had a rubbish day and are tired, and we can't concentrate because our mind's thinking about other things. But it's never them. It's never ever them.
Yeah, no, they always show up. They're always there.
They do.
And I've seen, there was a time, you go through different stages of your own personal growth, and there was a time when I thought, where did they go?
Yeah.
and they're not, they haven't gone anywhere, but they very much, they know that if we don't take that rest, they will give us that rest.
Yeah.
But also it's very important, I think, a lot of people think that there's a lot, you have to do all these things, yes, you have to protect yourself, you have to ground yourself, but once you learn to connect and build that relationship with your spirit team, you can talk to them any time of the day.
Yeah.
They're there 24/7 and just have that conversation and build that bond. And I think a lot of people forget that, or it's, as you say, it's the self-doubt, isn't it? It's that logic mind telling us that no, we need to do this whole big, when really, yes, we learn different ways, but once you get your niche and once you start to build that strength and that connection, as you say, and you close that mind down, they're there all 24. You can talk anytime you want.
Yeah. How do you feel, how hard do you find it to be to get out there and build up a sort of connection with the people, you know, to come to you? Has that been hard over the years, or has that just opened up and into stages of development with you?
To be honest, I connect with people very quickly.
Yeah.
I help people in Australia, and I have one of my amazing, and she gets up at 3:15 in the morning to do classes, and people will contact me and they'll say that I've seen you, and it's just the way you talk.
Yeah.
What I found hard is, to be honest, if we're really being open and honest for everything, is the spiritual side of things. Being, because I worked so differently, I find it hard trying to, where do I fit in, because Northern Ireland were quite small, and Ireland were quite small. We don't have the outlets that you would have. But Spirit were very good at guiding me to, I work with people in America, different ones in America. I have students from all around the world, and I know Spirit has guided them to me, and I connect with people very easy. I found the hardest was, I remember a way when my physicals kicked off, and I was like, it took me by surprise. I had no issue, as you know, we were constantly being surprised.
Totally.
I remember trying to join a physical group, and I joined a physical group, and I said, look, this is what's happened. My Spirit team have asked them, told me now they're going to be training me in this area. They're going to be, and I know it will be progressing more, because I know they've told me I'm going to progress more in the different further down the, but I got this answer, and it was like, you're paranormal, you shouldn't be on this group, you're paranormal. And I was like, I'm so passionate about my journey, and that knocked my confidence, because I think that was part of, like, where do I fit in? And then I realised that Spirit very much gave me the space that I needed to understand that I didn't need to fit in.
No, of course you don't.
I didn't need to fit in, and I think that's what I found hard. It wasn't the people, it was more in the spiritual circles and movements that I found it very hard. Yeah.
But do you not find, though, even as a child growing up, we never fitted in?
No.
You know?
No. I can remember, as a child I had to do a speech therapist. And I think it was because everybody thought I was a nervy child, and I still to this day they'll keep me going, because I used to pronounce my words differently, and over here we've different, I'm sure like Scotland's got different variations of accents, and they used to say to me, you're a snob. That's what I used to get. That's what I used to get. Just because I went to as a child, but it was nervous, and as a child I always found that you always felt, and now growing up I had great teenage years, to be honest, because I kind of did close things off in a sense, but I found in a sense that you were always trying to fit into that, find that niche, find that click for you.
Wanting to be liked, you wanted to be liked as well. Now that I don't care about that at all now. If you don't like me, then that's fine.
I'm the same. It's like I'm very much. I started the spiritual surgery now. I know they've not pushed that any further at the moment. But again, that took me by surprise, and I'm, as you know, we're constantly being taken by surprise. But the biggest lesson I got was to stop wanting people to accept me, and to understand that Spirit had my back, and I learned to trust Spirit more than anybody, and I just learned that and since I did that, I love my journey. I don't put the pressure on myself.
I totally agree with you. I'm with you on this. I'm exactly the same.
Because we do.
There's Gerda putting a comment on, and she says, interesting, my daughter feels this, know, but the more that that you grow with Spirit World, the more you change, and you feel then, well, I'm learning that it doesn't matter, I don't have to fit in, you know, and people don't need to like me, but the real people that's meant to be in my life will be the ones that will like me, and the people that stay for the rest of my journey. And Spirit always guides us that way of bringing the people into our life and taking some people out of our life, you know.
They do.
And they do, and it's a trust, and it's a surrender and trust to them that I feel privileged, and I'm sure you do too, Judith. And I'm with you on it all. I'm with you on it all. And Patricia's just said Judith is so loving and human when she's giving a reading or in a development circle. Yeah, that's another thing though, isn't it, Judith? You've got to feel the emotion, the clairsentience, you've got to feel it, you know. And if you give a reading to somebody and then they leave and they go, oh, that was my mum, or that was my sister, you know, she had her to a T, spot on. That's
but you know, one of the things I learned, and I learned a hard lesson. We learned quite some hard lessons, but I think it's important to talk about the mistakes that we make, because we cannot be perfect, and I don't choose to do. It's not that I love to choose my passion, and my spirit journey is my passion. But I don't say, right, I'm going to do this today. This is this job. Spirit. I very much let Spirit guide me at all times. And I have helped where I've found loved ones who've been missing, and I can remember chatting to you about this on Paul's on the Spirit Talk. Yeah. And I remember saying, and I broke my own rule. I broke my own rule, and I remember saying, you know, I only involve myself when asked. It's very, and I remember Paul and yourself, I think maybe it was saying, why do you wait till you're asked? And I said, because it's important. Spirit tell me it's very important. So I made a mistake, and I think I'll own up to it, because we're all human, and we all make mistakes, and if we can't say when we make mistakes, how can the people we help?
That's right, because you don't grow from it then, do you? So
we don't. And there was a case happened, and I was like, gosh, I'll wait. If somebody contacts me, I'll wait. And I hadn't heard, and I was getting bits and pieces, and I was like, I don't know. And I broke my golden rule, and I put out, but my information started to change, and I was confusing myself, and I was like, why this is changing from this to this. And I'm always 100% on the ball. I don't understand why is this changed. And I was being given all this information, and at the end of it, what I got at the very beginning had been correct, and everything else. And I was like, I broke my golden rule. You know, I wasn't asked, and so I said to Spirit, you know, I've done wrong, haven't I? And they went, there's a lesson here. You don't always need to be right. And I went, absolutely, I agree with that, and I understand. And I said, well, where was all this information coming from? Please teach me, how was I getting all this information? And they said, it wasn't the information you were getting was wrong. You were picking up everybody's information, as in everybody's versions, everybody's opinions. And that brought me back to earth, Alice, and it taught me that there was a reason why we ask, and we wait for people to ask and give permission. And it taught me that I broke my own golden rule, and I got it wrong. I got it right at the beginning, but then continued to get it wrong. But that taught me that, okay, you know, because we will feel, you know, as I'm sure you'll be we kind of seem similar in a lot of what we do. And I would say you're a very strong empath, and you feel, you know, you pick up around you. And because it was so big, I was getting everybody's versions.
Yes, I can understand that.
And I just thought, you know, well, that was a very hard lesson for me. And so I went back to my golden rule, as to wait until I'm asked, and then you know you're doing it the right way. So it taught me a hard lesson. So it did.
There's many things though that we get taught, and it's part of our makeup, but it's also part of them trying to teach us why don't you look at it a different way, you know?
Yeah.
And what did you learn from that way that you thought was all right, you know?
Yes.
You know,
yes.
so
Well, they're very good at telling you, aren't you?
Oh yeah,
you know,
they are.
They're very good at saying, look, this is where you went wrong.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
And so I think as working mediums, I think especially when we help, I think it's important that we go, I got that wrong. This is the mistake I made, and this is what it taught me.
Yeah.
So I very much so.
If you can't put your hand up and say you got it wrong, then you've let your ego come right in there and take over, and you're not really working for spirit world, you're working for yourself, you know. And we took this role on, and I can see this and I can feel it from you as well, Judith. You took it on. You're working for spirit world. Spirit world is your teacher.
Absolutely.
And you're getting guided by the teaching of spirit world. So a lot of things that happen here are man-made, and it's man-made rules, you know, that spirit world don't want us to do. They're guiding me to do something, they're guiding you to do something. We've all got this guidance coming from spirit world for the best intentions and with love, you know, to help us develop, but to help us develop to help other people, because that's why we do it, to help other people.
I always say we teach something to everyone.
We do.
And everyone teaches.
And they teach us back.
We learn something, yes. And the person who knows everything knows nothing, because it doesn't matter how much, you know, in my circles I always say we're all equal in this circle. We just learn in different ways, and we're in different parts of our own journey, but not one person is any. And Spirit very much drummed that into me, and I think it's because how I struggled. And it's something that I would be really passionate about. Humble and grounded, they drummed that into me and I've never forgot it. It's one thing I'll never forget. So
well, do you know, Judith, it's now we're way over time, and I don't care less. I don't care, because
wouldn't be like us.
because that's the way it's meant to be, you know. So
it is. Yeah.
I have absolutely loved having you on tonight. I really have. And I'm looking forward to working with you in the future, because I have a feeling we're going to be working again in the future in some capacity.
I think we will. I
in
think
some
we
capacity
will.
I can feel that we will do. I've also got family in Northern Ireland as well. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, I've got
if you're coming over, you have to let me know.
Yeah, I will be coming over to see my uncle, my aunt and my cousins this year, so hopefully round about maybe September, October, November, but I'll be coming over to see them.
Let me know, we'll meet up, and I'll show you parts of Northern Ireland. I'll show you good places to go out. Judith will lead you astray. Definitely. I have to say thank you for I'm privileged that I was your first guest, and may you go further, and may it just be, I know it's going to be so successful. You have an army of spirit behind you, Alice, an army of spirit, and I'm very excited. Judith. So I'm very privileged.
Thank you so much. Paul was going to try and come on tonight as well, but Paul will also, you know, he'll come on the show as well, and you know, because although I'm doing it as part of Sparkle of Light, which is my spiritual centre, it's also to do with Spiritual Talk TV as well, you know, which has opened my eyes and development, and it's a continuous learning, and even Paul's going through a continuous learning at the moment with a change of diversion. It's great. I love and I trust Spirit immensely, and I would love to have you back on the show again. Okay, so
I would love to come back anytime. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being on, and also thank you to some of the participants who managed to come on tonight. But you know, I feel it was the way it was meant to be. You know, Spirit will bring it the way it's meant to be, and it was lovely, and I could feel the love from Spirit World, and I could feel the love from the ladies who are on here. I can't see them, I can only see the comments, but I can feel and I can sense their passion and them wanting to know more, you know. I can sense that. So we did the job for Spirit World, and thank you for being part of that. So I would like to just say thank you to Judith Miller, and thank you to everybody who has listened this evening. And we will be back on again in a couple of weeks. It will be 2 weeks, and the podcast will be on. It will be a Thursday. It will be 8 o'clock every 2 weeks, and I'm really looking forward to exploring this avenue and this venture and this journey that I'm on. So why not come along with me and share it with me? Okay. Good night. Take care.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Bye.
Oh.